Welcome, everyone. Hope all is well. We're getting a lot of good trade setups. Euro's pulling back where we want. CAD's kind of got a flat pattern going on. I like some of these yen pairs. I'm going to be taking a shot. So we got a lot to get into. Nasdaq's rallying up to that quarterly R2. So markets are moving, right? So we'll get into it. Risk disclaimer, read it over. And let's go. All right, so we'll start off here on NASDAQ, right? Because we talked about this area, and if I put quarterly pivots on, you're up at that quarterly R2. So you're there now. We rallied. You hit it in one day. And as far as NASDAQ goes, it would not shock me at all to see an intra-week reversal and close the week off down here at that gap, right? So we'll step out to the weekly chart and zoom in, get rid of this, right? It's not going to shock me at all if we close the week out down here. I'm looking for a strong intra-week reversal. And you'll probably have to play this thing in the lower time frame. I mean, because if you get that strong intra-week reversal that we're looking for, you're not gonna have very many 4-hour 34Bs or nothing in it, right? So it'll, if you get that strong reversal, it'll probably stay below the 8 on the 4-hour chart. So maybe you get like 1 hour 34Bs, 15-minute 200 double tops, right? Stuff like that. So I think you would have to play it in the 1 hour chart, 15-minute chart, and I am looking for an all-out reversal this week. All right. So that doesn't mean sell now, right? It just means if you get a good sell setup in the 1 hour chart, 15-minute, go ahead and take it and then put that trade to break even and see if we get that strong reversal. So you're sitting right in between your 100 and your 123.6. You're at your quarterly R2, and wouldn't shock me to just get an all out reversal, come fill this gap. All right. So at some point this week. So that is that. I'll get these pivots off now because we don't really, just to clean the chart up. We'll cover Euro now because Euro's pulling back into that high confluence area we talked about. So 4-hour chart, and you're coming up now to an overbought 34B. So, and we had this high confluence area up here, right? It was basically this 50% imbalance lined up with your retrace, right? If you watch the confluence video, then you got pivots here, you got the trend line here. So we got our 200. So I think you could take a shot on this 34B on Euro. You could take a close below the 8, right? And then if you get stopped out of that, you're going to have another trade up here at your 200, and you're going to have structure to pull at that point. All right, so then you can take the close below the 8, wait for it to break structure, right? And any trades you take up here, remember, you would have to give it room for the double top. So, all right, and that's pretty much that. So Euro is pulling back into a nice area. You're coming up to the overbought 34B now. Any 4-hour engulfing closes below the 8, you can go ahead and take. You could sell the 34 and save some money for the 200, right? In case we want to keep rallying up to the 200. So, and that's pretty much that. Dollar CAD, right? So 1 hour chart. We were looking for this on dollar CAD. We were looking for this little piece here to beat a flat, right? And we were looking for that rally, and it turns out you're just making a bigger flat right here. Same pattern, you're just basically making a bigger B wave. So we're still looking for this in dollar CAD. All right, this week. This is the pattern I'm looking to play out this week, and we'll see what happens. Right, I'm not looking. There's no reason price should close below this low. So, right, if we start working our way down here, and we close down here, then something's wrong, all right? And then at that point we got to start looking at this bigger piece right here, and the bigger move down to the daily 200, just completing this three wave structure. So, but we're not going to worry about that yet. We're not there yet. So, right, you'd have to watch out for this pattern. But 1 hour chart, we still look bullish, right? It just looks like you're making a larger B wave here. And we should just rally and come break these highs now. So, dollar CAD, this is what we're looking for. This would be a nice buy. This is a nice buy here. So, um, maybe we come back this low. Maybe this B wave goes a little higher, right? And then you only pull back to the 618. So you might not get down here. It might stop like up here. So we'll see. We will keep tracking it. So as of right now, looks like you're just making a flat correction, and then you're looking for continuation. We're still looking to finish the week out up here at this weekly R2. All right. So that's pretty much that. Oh, you got Aussie news tonight, right? Too. So watch out for that. Australian rate decision and press conference and stuff. So that is tonight. And then you also got pound on deck for Thursday and Swiss francs. So just keep an eye out for them. So I'm not really. I do kind of like Aussie CAD though. So we'll jump into some Forex pairs now. And Aussie CAD sitting here on your 200, right? So right in between your pivots. I do kind of like this trade. And when we go to the daily chart, sitting on your 34, there is a possibility that this is like a running flat right here. You got the A, you got the B, expanded triangle that breaks the high, and now you're coming down for the C. So there's a chance Aussie CAD explodes. They're not expecting a cut rate tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if we get this, and I think I will be entering a position right here on the daily chart, and I just don't want to see a close below this pivot. So this is pretty much my risk right here, and I just don't want to see a close below that pivot, and I'm in that trade. So we'll see what happens. I like that trade. So if you want to wait for a daily close above the 8, you could do that. If you want to wait for a 4-hour close above the 8, if you want to wait for a 4-hour double bottom, you can wait for that. So you don't have to be aggressive here. You could just wait for another setup, right? If you want to wait for a first high or low after the break of structure, right? So there's a number of ways to play that. I think I'll just put an order on here. For me, I'm not suggesting you do it. I like Euro Yen as well. Again, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm doing. So I do like Euro Yen to the downside, and I like this as a potential running flat correction. This is counter trend. This is a counter trend trade, and I'm simply taking a pattern trade, right? Pattern's either gonna play out or it's not, and it's as simple as that. All right, I like the fact that I've got my 100 up here for this running flat. You've got pivot support up here, and I'm looking for this week out of Euro Yen. All right, and I'm looking at all of this as a potential running flat where a B wave breaks the low. So, and I'm basically not looking for this high to get taken out. Again, I'm not going to have a stop here. I don't want to see a close. I don't want to see a close above this high. So I want to see a strong reaction right here at 169.78. And I want to see a sell-off. And I'm taking a shot. If this is a running flat, it's going to play out. If it's not, then maybe we come after these highs, I get stopped out. So it's not bad risk to reward though, right? I'm only risking this much. So I'd like this trade to find out if this is a running flat correction, because the risk to reward could be big. And we are overbought, so this could be a C wave. Now, it is counter trend. It's counter trend on the daily chart. You're down here, right? So it is a counter trend trade, but where we're at on the higher time frame, we're coming off of our quarterly R2, so I do like it. I'll put, just so you can see where we're at, big picture. Throw these pivots back on. All right, and you tagged your quarterly R2, you rallied up again, and then now you're starting to fall apart. I'm looking at all this as a running flat, and I'm looking for a move down to our daily 89. So now remember, this is what I'm doing. I'm not suggesting you do it. This is counter trend, and when you go to retail sentiment, I am on the retail side of things, right? Because when you look at euro yen, retail traders are selling, so, and usually they're on the wrong side. So but I don't use this as a, this does not make my trade decisions, all right? So I just like using it as confluence. Right now the added confluence isn't on my side, but I am still taking this trade. All right, so I'm taking the trade, and it's either a running flat or it's not. Simple as that. I like that trade. And that's pretty much that, right? So pound CAD, we're coming down to the 200. I like this one as well. But we got pound news rate decision, so we'll see. Maybe we'll come down a little further. So I do like this pound CAD though. I'll probably wait for a daily close above the 8, and then we can go into buy mode on the smaller time frame. All right, so that is that. What else do we got? So that should be. I like New Zealand. All right, New Zealand CAD's coming down too. So we're getting ready to get an oversold 34B daily chart on New Zealand. So that's coming down. We haven't got a close above the 8 yet. So I probably, if we can come down to this 200 a little further in this pivot, I think I'll be pulling the trigger down here. All right, I've got an alert set down here. So if we hit that tonight or whatever, I'll probably be pulling the trigger on this New Zealand CAD. Again, you don't have to, you can wait for a double bottom to set up. Wait for close above the 8. Wait for it to break out of structure, make the first high or low. So you can wait for an 834 cross, right? Wait for your 8. So there's a number of ways to play it. I think I'm just going to put an order here down there at our 200 and our weekly pivot because I like this trade as well. So New Zealand CAD's not bad. We're getting ready to get an oversold 34B, and that's my trade right there, right? So I'm simply buying the daily 34 and the 4-hour 200. So I'm just doing it before we get a trigger. So all right. And that should about do it. CAD yen's not doing nothing. We're still making this potential flat we talked about. Remember, if they make this flat down here, then you got another X wave, and then we're looking for one more correction after this in this degree. All right, so CAD yen. You're looking for a flat, and then we're looking for a zigzag correction. And then you're going, right? You're going back down to the bottom of this structure, or this continues going to the 1618 and the 2618, right? So you can't really, you won't have any more corrections in this degree after this zigzag, or you make a flat right here. So this will be ready real soon. So CAD yen, keep that on your radar. If we get an impulse down here, you're on the lookout for one more correction. It's either going to look like this zigzag, or it's either going to look like this, right? A flat. So that's what you're on the lookout for on CAD yen. So again, trades I like. Trades I like. Aussie CAD, right? I do like Aussie CAD. We're sitting in the sweet spot on our pivots. This could be an expanded flat correction, and I'm just jumping the gun. And instead of wait, my risk is going to be the same whether I wait for a daily close above the 8. I'm still going to have to put a stop below the low. So me pulling the trigger here, waiting for a close below here, I'm risking the same. So might as well just pull the trigger now on the daily 34. Is my opinion. Again, I'm not suggesting you do it. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And I like the fact that you're sitting on your 200. But if you do see any 4-hour double bottoms, a 4-hour double bottom with divergence, and then you close above the 8, that's a nice trade. All right, so we like that. We like pound CAD. I'm taking a shot on euro yen. Again, this is counter trend and retail sentiment is not on my side. I'm simply playing the potential running flat. And when we jump to the majors, euro is pulling back nicely. Euro dollar pulling back right where we want it. You got a 4-hour 34 bead now. You could take that. Just save some money because you got you got a big confluence of traders sitting here too. So euro, you're right. You're getting some nice pullbacks in the area you want. CAD, we're looking for this flat to play out. Looking for that's CAD futures. Go to dollar CAD, and we're looking for a flat, right? You're kind of looking for something like this to play out this week, and we want to close the week up here, right? So we don't want to close down here, and that's pretty much CAD. All right, and that's all I got. So you like what I'm doing? Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, and other than that, have a good one. See ya.